going on, everybody? Welcome to the CNG Podcast. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. G Walker, what's going on, man?
Man, I'm chilling, bro. I'm blessed. Another day in hell. I mean, Chicago, the sun out here is just ridiculous right now. So, we just trying to get through this heat, man. What's going on your end, bro?
Hey, man, the heat on, it was like 93, 94 degrees over here, man. And we had a heat index for the last few days. So it's been hot, pretty hot around here too, man. But tonight, we got the Bears. They finished up the mini camp. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about predictions for Game 6, which is tonight. But we ain't going to hold y'all up. We got a lot of shit to get into, so let's go ahead. Let's get started. So,
Let's go.
All right, man. So the first topic in hand was what the guys had to say about the coaches had to say about today's performance. And I think we got a couple of tweets or a couple of comments that I'm gonna pull up on the screen right now. So let's check them out. So
Yeah.
this one came from Chris Emma. Matt Eberflus had this to say about Justin Fields. Did y'all see it on the screen? Looked like he had a pretty good practice for the last couple of days, man. I didn't get to see any tape on him, or I didn't get to see any film on him for the last couple of days, but on your first day. But if you saw any film on him today, what did you see from him?
I just saw that his mechanics was better. I saw that he's driving off his left foot instead of his right foot, and the ball is coming out more. It's coming out quicker, and it's actually coming out with more velocity and more accuracy too. So he's putting his left foot in front of his right, and he's throwing darts, man. He's throwing darts.
I definitely saw a couple of clips from him today, and I actually like what I saw. Even though there were short clips, I actually from what everybody was saying, he had that one bad day, the first day, which I expected, because the defense, how they were going to come out, and him getting in tune with it, with his teammates, especially the receivers. But today today in particular, he did a pretty good job. I think he went 7-7 today out there. So we're going. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, he just did pretty good. He's stacking the days, and that's what you want to see from out the gate from a guy that who thinks he's he wants to take over the NFL. He wants to be the best quarterback. So for him to come in 2 days in a row, installing a new offense, and he's throwing darts and he's hitting the receivers, you know what I mean? You can't ask for nothing better.
Hey, bro, what's going on, man?
What up, Frank?
Stopping by. All right. But getting back into it, we got a couple more things, a couple more comments coming up. This is actually from Nick Magano, and I actually watched this guy on YouTube. So he has a he's
Nicholas Mariano.
Yeah, Nicholas Mariano. I remember him from last year. He had a YouTube channel. I think he's on a bigger network. But this is what he had to say about Justin.
Says Justice Field ended one of the team's session with an accurate throw to Dante Pettis. The ball hit Pettis in stride, and he was able to outrun DB A.J. Thomas for a touchdown. The other members of the offense ran toward the front of the right corner of the end zone to celebrate. So, yeah, man, it sounds like, he's throwing the ball to whoever he needs to throw it to. Whoever's getting called for the play, he's throwing it to whatever receiver that he's supposed to throw it to. He's making the right reads. So, you just love to see it, and you just love to see positive reports and positive stats and stuff about Justin.
Yeah, most definitely. And I was expecting. People were saying that he, has been doing pretty good as far as the offense, and some people have seen it over the last 3 days. I just can't wait until the preseason starts. To see exactly how it's all going to shape out. But we're gonna get into the last tweet, which came from Mark Carmen. Justin was on his game at Bears minicamp. This is actually day 2. Bunch of impressive throws, a couple of drops for Velus Jones. I'm eerie excited about Chris Flanky, whoever that is.
Chris Fink.
Yeah. And that I guess he's the receiver. Yeah, actually I know exactly who he is. He's a receiver. I think he made a catch today, if I'm not mistaken.
And I saw my boy Velus Jones Jr. They said, I was just reading it, making the great catches. So, like I said, that's my breakout star for minicamp, and he's been performing so far.
Yeah, man. Like I mentioned in the last video, I think he's gonna have a solid season. Darnell Mooney, I think it's a lot expected of him. I know he was featured a few times on a couple of catches that he had. So overall, I think Justin is gonna start getting the comfortability with these receivers moving forward. Now I know they're gonna go on a break. So, do we expect these guys to keep training as they're going on their break, or do we expect them to take a rest?
You know
So
what? Speaking of that, I had
mhm.
put up an overlay about what the coach said about that before they leave for the summer.
Okay, let me see if
Loose, loose. It's
this
something
this
about them. Yeah. I'm gonna read this out, and this
okay.
is just going to piggyback of what you were saying about them coming back. He said the summers for these guys are going to be important, and the mentions I said after practice to them is one: come back lean, fit, and strong. Obviously, I left them with get your track shoes on.
Hmm.
Like I started my first press conference before we're going to be running. Once we get to training camp, training camp is not to get in shape. You should already be in shape. You should be ready to go for a training camp because we are blowing and going from day one. That's my main message to them. So the coaches,
Mm.
he set the tone, and I love that. We never heard that kind of talk from Matt Nagy. We never heard about him sending a message to the guys leaving for summer and coming back for camp. So even Flus is setting the tone for his guys. He wanted them to come in ready to play, in shape, ready to go, ready to fight, ready to hit and attack. So that just goes back to what you was talking about as far as how they're gonna come back. And right before that, you said it. I'm like, man, put that overlay up of what the coach was saying, man.
Yeah, actually, I just first time he's seeing that, I actually like that a lot, and I've gotten some news about Brian Urlacher, as far as Eberflus wanted him to, I don't know if he wanted to come into practice to talk to the guys, but Urlacher had a lot to say about Eberflus. He likes his old school mentality. He kind of reminds him of Ron Rivera, Ron
Mm-hmm.
Marinelli, excuse me, Marinelli, I'm sorry. So, Urlacher actually likes Eberflus. So, it's a lot to say, as far as when you got these old guys that we know of, that we watch coming up as far as in the defense, really liking what Eberflus's style of coaching. So, in that defense, instilling that mentality, not just on the offense, not just on the defense, but the offense as well. So he's a hard-nosed guy, man. He's gonna have those guys in line, and that's discipline. And that's something that this Bears team has not had in a long time, is keeping those guys disciplined. So
Sure.
I like it. I like it a lot, man.
Yeah.
But we got a couple more. Actually, we got a couple more
Yeah.
picture
Yeah.
stuff coming up.
These right here was coming from what they took away from camp today. Eberflus loved what he saw from the rookie Jaquan Brisker. Basically his ball hawking skills, his attention to detail, his physicality, and everything like that. So Brisker has been playing up to his potential so far and what he's been drafted to do.
Hey, man, and it seems like as far as what the draft picks is concerned, I'm just gonna speak on this. I know fans had something to say as far as the old regime and their draft picks, and Jennings, I think, was the topic in hand because he's a second round pick. People expect a lot from him. Now I asked a couple of people as far as Bear fans, did they feel like Jennings should be playing at the guard position? A lot of them said no. They want the Bears to keep him. They want to see what he can do as far as playing at that right tackle, to see what he's gonna see if he's gonna develop and get better. Now, my whole thing is he's in the second string. I know you can't read too much into that, but at the same time, it's like it's kind of hard to evaluate talent because this is more like his rookie season with this new regime.
That's true.
So
That's
to
true.
tell you
Yeah.
the truth, if you don't see him on the field, you can't get mad because it's like these are a new set of coaches with better standards and higher standards for their players. And if you don't come out and get ready to play, you're gonna be on the bench. And this guy Jennings got beat by, I think he was an undrafted defensive end. I can't remember his name, but they said he got beat several times today and the previous day. So
Damn.
I just want to know what's your take on that as far as Jennings, and do you think he's gonna have a chance to show to really play under this new regime?
Jenkins, you know what? You like you said, you really can't read a lot into it, but at the same time, we're seeing two different stories coming from him. Because what he was drafted, he was mauling guys in college, and he was doing this in college. He's mean, but then when he gets here, he gets drafted, he gets hurt, and he couldn't play. Oh, hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mom, how's it going?
Oh, thank you. Oh, this a friend of your mom's. Okay.
Oh, okay. She must got company or something at the house. I don't know. I just talked to her earlier. But if y'all watching, appreciate y'all for watching. But
thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank y'all a lot.
Yeah, but Jenkins, man, it is what it is at this point because Braxton Jones, and if you bring up his picture for me, Braxton Jones is a 5th rounder that's pretty much came in and took his spot already. Yeah. So what does that tell you about the past regime's drafting process?
Right.
So that makes you just thinking, it makes you questioning about how competent was Ryan Pace, and Matt Nagy. Because if this guy is who he is right now, then it's no surprise that he's running with the second stringers and a 5th round player is taking his spot. And they trying to cover it. No, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, man, you absolutely correct, man. And the thing is, you could tell, like, Matt Nagy, he's just an asshole, man. Because you set up Justin Fields to fail. You put him out there in week 3, and he plays like he was going to get blitzed. You knew that as soon as he came into the game, and you just played that kid to fail. So I'm really rooting for Justin. As you can see, I got the Justin Fields shirt on.
I see you with the drip on, with the helmet in the background.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Justin, man, to really come out and just really just improve game after game, man. And man, I want the Bears to really just stick it to Nagy, and I want him to stick it to him personally, because you can tell this kid is completely different from last year to now. So you could just tell that he's at another level as far as playing, and you could just see it's something different in him.
Right. Yeah, Justin, he's just coming to who he is, man. He's a tough kid. He's a very physical specimen. He's the type of guy that's not going to back down from a challenge.
Right.
He's very smart. He picked up the playbook very quickly with Nagy. He's picking up this playbook under Gesky. And he's delivering the ball on time. He's getting the ball out quicker. It just seems like last year was a really, really bad development year for him. Mm-hmm. And this year seems like he's gonna take a leap in development. And like I say, with the defense that Eberflus got, and he's going up against that type of attacking defense every day. Mm-hmm. And so to me, even though it's June and he's making them type of plays and throws, but against that type of defense, that means something to me, because of the type of defense that it is and how it's been advertised and how Flus is talking about it, how he's been talking about his system. So if I'm constantly hearing that, Fields is destroying this hit system, I'm gonna be hyped. So I'm glad to hear that he's actually dominating that practice right now and in minicamp.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm actually gonna put a couple of overlays from another Bears fan who's actually in one of our groups that we share the podcast to. This is our guy Mashawn. This is what he had to say about what he saw from Justin today. He said another segment of team drills. Justin had a pass deflection at the line of scrimmage, and Thomas Jones Jr., who was with the first team defense, made an interception and got a pick 6. Now, that just went back to what you just previously said, as far as the defense, which we expected from the defense, and Justin needs to see these type of things to understand what's going to be going down. And I actually like the fact that he actually did get picked off, because what that should do is say, okay, I know what I have to work on. This defense is not going to come out here and give me a break. They're going to come out here to test me. So that's really a good thing.
Yeah, because I think Justin at the same time, he has a gunslinger's mentality too. And for him to be a young quarterback with that type of arm and that type of strength, he's going to take chances. So Justin, another part of his development is that he has to know when to force the issue and when to not force the issue. You know what I mean? So it seems like at the line of scrimmage, you got picked off for a pick six. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That means you really forced the pass. And that's a mental error. And you just, trusted his arm probably a little bit too much and underestimated the defense. So, I just want to see him scale back and be a little bit more mentally tough and patient. You shouldn't be getting pick sixes off the line of scrimmage, bro. That should not,
Okay,
that should not be happening.
and I guess we got another comment. I guess this is my mom. I'm not sure if this is her friend or this is her, but she said good topics. Keep up the good work. Loving every bit of it. Go Bears. So, hey.
Go Bears.
And then we got another comment from
Miss Reed Red Mike. Who was that?
Yeah. Probably another. Actually, he's in one of our groups that we have. In
hold
Facebook.
On, CJ,
he's actually.
CJ, hold on. Isaiah, do not turn that Xbox on. Turn that Xbox off. Hello? Sorry about that.
Yeah, but no, it's cool, man. He's actually believer another Bear supporter. But
okay. What up, Mike?
Yeah, but going back into what we were saying was definitely with the defense. They needed to show Justin as far as just being tough on him and just not making it so easy for him, and that was a good thing to see. But from this last comment from Rashawn, what he said was on the third play from inside the 20, Justin zipped the pass to Cole Clement in the middle of the end zone for a touchdown. Then Clement chucked the ball into the air. I guess Chase Allen was wide open in the middle of the field, caught a TD with the second unit. So that was just a couple of things, that happened as far as today. And, it's good to hear that guys are actually going out here and, playing and doing it at a, pretty good, at a pretty high level. So
yeah, and that's all you can expect, man.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, bro?
Exactly. Well, G Walker, anything else you want to add on to the Bears before we move on, man?
Nah, man. Everything is going to what I expected it to be, man. I expected, whatever they sold me at, as far as Fluce's defense, as far as Justin, banking on himself, and Velus Jones Jr. making catches, and the defense running to the ball and attacking, and Fluce setting the standard as far as intensity and focused and running fast. So far, man, minicamp has been great for me as a fan, and I just hope it continues. I hope the iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
That they all still get better from each other,
Yeah, and as far as what I've been reading and seeing over the last couple of days, I told people this before. I actually like what the Bears doing as a whole, as an organization, as a team. A lot of people are crying about, the Bears are not going to do nothing this year. They're not going to get to the playoffs. They're not going to do whatever. They're rebuilding. When you have a new regime that comes in, 9 out of 10, they're gonna rebuild, because there's a lot of players that came from a previous regime that doesn't fit their team, that doesn't fit their system. So it's a lot of whining and crying about for fans who just want something quick, they want something to talk about. But at the end of the day, I like what I see so far. I expect the preseason to be no different. I think the Bears are going to have a winning record in preseason, even though that doesn't matter. But I think the Bears are going to actually play pretty well in the preseason. It's my opinion.
I agree. I just want whatever's been advertised to me to be on the field. Whatever you're advertising, I want that product to match when I sit down on a Sunday and I watch Justin Fields and I watch his defense and I watch his offense. That's it. I just want progress, man. I just want gradual steps to being great and being a great team.
Exactly. And man, we got about a half an hour before Game 6 of the NBA Finals as we're moving on to the NBA Finals talk real quick. Game 6, G Walker. Are the Golden State Warriors going to close it out tonight?
Yeah, it's over with, bro. It's over. It's over. It's over. I picked the Warriors in 6, and it's looking like it's going to be Warriors in 6. I think the experience of the Golden State Warriors is going to be too much for Boston to handle. I think that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown they disappear way too much in too many games. And I think that's just going to come back and bite them in the ass, man. You only get so many chances against an all-time great player with all-time great shooters, Clay and Steph. And for a lot of people that say, a Hall of Famer and Draymond Green. You know what I mean? And they won 3 championships. So, and you got Steve Kerr, and they got a great brain trust as far as a coaching staff over there. So you put all that together, they look like they got a little bit more left in the tank. And it looks like Boston is starting to become Boston. They don't look like they're ready. And I like what they got over there with Tatum and Brown. You got 2 elite wings, one is 6'9", one is 6'6", 6'7". They could score, athletic, long, they could defend. So the future is bright for them, but right now, Dubs in 6.
Hey, I definitely hear what you're saying, man, and I get it, but man, I still say this guy right here, that guy right there is gonna show up tonight.
Why do you have so much faith in this kid, man? Why?
Man, it's the fact, and the thing is, man, when you in front of that home crowd, in which we got to give the advantage to the Celtics for that. But man, this kid, he did not have a good game the last game. We know that he struggled. We know that at some point he's gonna break through. He's too good of a player not to do so. And I still got the Warriors winning this series in 7 games, but Jason Tatum and those guys will show up tonight. I would be very surprised if they do not. You're not gonna see too many games that Jason Tatum is gonna have a bad game 2-3 games in a row. It's just I'm just not gonna see it. I just don't see it.
But he's had multiple bad quarters in a row. He's had multiple quarters that was bad. Multiple. Turning the ball over, multiple turnovers.
Yeah, but you gotta think about it. That's in the adrenaline of the game. That's from game to game. You understand what I'm saying? So you can have a quarter, you can have 2 or 3 bad quarters within a game at itself, and then you come into the next game with a whole different mindset and a whole different game plan.
These guys are not Michael Jordan. These guys are not Michael Jordan, CJ. Stop gonna come in here and dominate, just turn on the switch and beat MJ, bro. I didn't beat Kobe in 2001 too. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't say that, but I did say, as far as Jason Tatum, I don't expect him to have 2 bad games in a row. I have not seen that yet. Until I see that, if he has a bad game tonight, then I would take back every damn thing I just said on this podcast.
It's the fact that he doesn't have bad games. He doesn't have complete games. He doesn't have enough complete games in the game to where you can trust him in 48 minutes. He'll go on a spurt here, he'll splash there, he'll do this here and there, but he won't keep it up. So, until I see him actually, play through the bumps of, the ebbs and flows and, the game, peaks and valleys, to where he can snap out of the valley part and get back to the peaks, and he's staying in the valleys too long, they're going to lose this game, man. Now, if he comes out and he's balling and he's doing his thing consistently to the second half and to the fourth quarter, hey, man, I believe you, man. Boston might go ahead and take this one. But you got to remember, the light-skinned, baby-faced assassin was 0 for 9 in Game 5, bro. Ain't no way in God's green, perfect world, heaven or hell, that he's going to repeat and go 0 for 9 from 3. This game is over. Dubs in 6, dog. Like, this shit over, bro.
Hey, I'm going to disagree. You know why? Because Boston had 18 turnovers. They had 18 turnovers, and the Warriors had 6 turnovers. Now, Steph Curry did not have a great game, but those other guys, Jordan Poole had 15 points. Gary Payton Jr. had 14 points. 31 points off the bench to 10 points off the bench for the Boston Celtics. And again, with all that being said, they only won by 10. It was a low scoring game. 104. That's a low scoring game for the for the Golden State Warriors. Right. So I have not seen them jack up 130,
but
125.
Who's that point guard? Who's that point guard in Boston? Go ahead and tell me.
In Boston, Marcus Smart.
No,
but Marcus Smart,
No, hell no. They struggling with him as a point guard, bro. There ain't no way. He's the defensive player of the year. That's it. He's not setting the tone for nobody. He turning the ball over too. their main core, their trio is turning that ball over like they playing dodgeball, hot potato or some shit. All three of them, bro.
Gene, let me ask you a question. How many points did Steph Curry have in Game 5?
I don't remember, to be honest with you, bro. What, 22, 20 or something?
I thought he had around 18.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't
So if
sure.
he had so check this out. If he had 18 points, which I could be wrong, but I could have sworn he had around 18. Marcus Smart had 24 points and 7 assists with 5 rebounds. So Marcus Smart outplayed his ass. I'm
In
just
one
saying.
game. In one
But
game.
but Marcus Smart been putting up those numbers 3 out of the 5 games though.
It's over for them boys.
I'm just,
Town, man.
I'm just saying, man. Like you can't. I know the Golden State Warriors are good, but they have not been that impressive to me in this finals.
You know what? And I can agree with that. They're not what they used to be, but that let you know that a team like Boston that's younger, that's supposed to be this top defense and all this, and they can't beat them. That lets you know that Boston they not the team that we think they are.
Man, but the Warriors don't have no guys to get points in the paint at the end of the day. So guess what? If Steph Curry hits 6, 7, 8 threes tonight, and Klay Thompson don't do a damn thing, and they don't get points in the paint, and then you got 60 points in the paint for Boston, and Jason Tatum and Brown give you 20 apiece, the game is gonna be close, bro. It's gonna be close. That's what I'm saying is that with Golden State, they wins don't impress me because it's not in dominating fashion. I've seen what happened in that last game. The turnovers killed Boston. But Boston been out rebounding this team for the whole damn series. They've been getting more points in the paint for the whole damn series. So it's not gonna keep itself going like that. The only way Golden State gonna win this game tonight is if they hold Jason Tatum to 15 points and if they get them another 15 to 20 turnovers tonight. That's it, bro. That's
Tatum gonna take himself out the game, bro. With the wackest layup package I ever seen from a player. The man can't make a layup to save his life, bro. He gonna miss 4 of them. He gonna miss 4 tonight. He gonna miss 4 layups. You gonna be like, yup.
I can't. Hey man, I can't argue with that, man. His layup package is definitely got to improve, man.
The man that tall and that skinny and that athletic can't make layups, man. I'm not believing in no dude to win no championship.
But Brandon Ingram got the same layup package, and he about the same size.
In the finals, though. Is he in the finals? No, he's not.
Nope.
His ass is in New Orleans eating what's them things called? Crawfish and shit. Beignets.
Crawfish gumbo. Crawfish gumbo. Alligator frog legs.
Yeah, alligator burritos and all that. His ass at home.
You name it. But hey, man. I think that's just about gonna wrap this up. We got about a couple minutes before well actually we got around 15-20 minutes for game time, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up.
You can keep it going if you want to, man. You want to keep talking or you want to get up out of here?
Hey man, I don't think we got too much more. I don't think we got too much more to put to say as far as
that's to piggyback and go back to the Bears. What's the name? Hasn't been at practice, bro. Gordon.
Oh yeah.
Practice, man.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. And Robert Quinn has not. I've heard. We've been hearing rumors and hearing stuff around people that's closest to him that he wants to get out of Chicago.
Right.
And guy, I told you it didn't surprise me because he wants the championship.
Yeah, that's fine.
So. That's where I think his mindset is. I don't blame him. I mean, the way that the guy played, if he goes to a team and play like that, a playoff team, that team could go far in the playoffs, And I don't blame him for having that mentality. I mean, you got to look at you have to look at, what you're worth to a team. And I know the Bears want him to come in and be that veteran type of guy, but you got a guy that's doing that comes out and gets 18 sacks in a season, and at his age, you kind of have to not waste that on a team that's trying to rebuild and trying to improve. You need to go to a playoff team to try to get yourself set up to win a Super Bowl.
And we get to unload that big ass contract that Ryan Pace gave him. So I'm all for him leaving this team. we already gonna have like 150 million under the cap next year cap space. We get rid of him, we probably gonna have the highest, cap space in the NFL. So this team, I'm all for that, man. It's just an experimental year. All I want is everything for everybody from the Bears team to just make strides. Cole Kmet,
Right.
Darnell Mooney, Pringle, Justin Fields, the offensive line, the defense, the rookies, Brisker and Gordon. That's all I want to see this year, man. The new regime and the expectations got to be what they are. But I don't think we're going to be a pushover team just because of the philosophy and the way that Eberflus is preparing this team to play Sunday and Sunday in and Sunday out. So it should be fun.
Yeah, I agree. And hey, man, I gotta touch on something real quick, man. And you're gonna think that this is the craziest thing this is probably one of the craziest things that I said on this podcast. But it didn't come from me. It came from some whack ass fan as far as talking about super teams. This guy, wow. I'm not even gonna put his name out here because I told him to pull it up to the podcast.
Right.
I ain't never heard nothing from him. Right. Didn't hear nothing from him. So, but look, this man sat up here and said that the Chicago Bulls, the 1995-96 Bulls that had Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman was the first super team.
First of all, you really have to just establish what's a super team. Is a super team guys that are being drafted together and they're going to win multiple championships, or is it you just playing with your best friends like LeBron did? What's a super team? And it's not the first super team because Boston had Hall of Famers, the 80s. The Lakers that had a Hall of Famers in the 80s, 60s. Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West. You know what I mean? It's been super teams throughout the history of the NBA. This is not something that's brand new.
Well, I'm gonna take it a step further. I think you can't really call a team that's drafted players over the years a super team. Like if you got an organization that's just been drafting good players over the last 6-7 years, and those guys are all on one team, you really can't call that a super team. That's just that was just a organization that developed great talent and that had great talent. But when I call a super team, is when players come together on one team. You understand what I'm saying?
Now, like when free agency.
Right, through free agency or through trade or through whatever. I call that a super team. Now, when this guy talked about Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman, let me go to Dennis Rodman real quick. Dennis Rodman was a specialist in rebounding and playing interior defense on bigs like Shaquille O'Neal.
Nobody wanted him before he got to the Bulls.
Right, and nobody wanted him because of the personality or the antics or whatever you want to call it. So nobody wanted Dennis Rodman for one. Two, Scottie Pippen. They didn't even clarify him as a top 10 player when Michael Jordan left. They never clarified him as that. They always said that he's not a top 10 player. He wasn't a top 10 player. So that rules him out. Now, Michael Jordan coming back. No one knew that Michael Jordan was going to come back and play at that level that he played before he retired. So all that saying that Jordan and those guys were a super team it's irrelevant and it's invalid because you have to Dennis Rodman for one. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, yes, but he's a Hall of Famer because no one at his size was able to rebound and do the things that he can do for a very long time. So it's like when you talk about a super team, you gotta talk about a team that comes together. When you got the Boston Celtics. With Kobe, Kobe had to deal with those guys before he won those two other championships. That team came together. You gotta think about it. They got.
No, they were a super team, bro.
But wait a minute. But wait a minute. What I'm saying is that they came together in trades. You got to remember, KG came over from Minnesota. Ray Allen came over from the Seattle Supersonics. They put that team together. So what I'm saying is that when you put teams together like that, to me, that's a super team. You understand? So, and the same thing with Miami, that's a super team. So when you say super team, to me, my definition of a super team is top 10 players coming together on one team. That to me is a super team. When you look at Kevin Garnett at that time, top 10 player. Paul Pierce, top 10 player. Probably 9, probably 10, whatever. Ray Allen, damn near a top 10 player. So, and you can say the same thing about LeBron James in that Miami team. So that's what I think is a super team is. But it's just crazy how people come on here, trolls, and they want to make arguments about about whatever just to get a reaction. So I don't know what crazy stuff is going to be said by anybody, especially about this Bears team. I'm sure we're going to see more stuff, as the season goes along. So, man, the stuff that come out of people's mouths, man, I don't get it.
I mean, people just, they think they know the game. They think they know they're fans, man, and what they see, is what they're gonna call out. Nobody really gets into the nuances of what things really are. It's basically, just to change the subject a little bit. Like I always say, personalities matter more than anything in sports. And I was saying this in my sports chat group that KD changed the NBA. He changed the NBA.
Yeah.
From the time he lost that 3-1 lead to Golden State, to the time he joined Golden State, to the time he got to Brooklyn, that whole time period, he changed it in a losing manner, not even a winning manner. Because that Golden State team would probably not be that same team if he would have won in Oklahoma City with Russell Westbrook. It's crazy, man. People don't talk about that enough. He changed the NBA from losing. And then he went to the team that beat him the year right after and got with them.
Right.
So, and that's a super team. That was a super team.
Yeah, that was a super team as well. So, it's not so much as players being drafted and just developing and staying on the teams. And yeah, those players could be good. That's just a one hell of a franchise. That's just one hell of a dynasty. That's just.
So if the Bears get healthy, the Bulls, Lonzo, one of the top point guards in the league before he got hurt. He had like 400, whatever. He had his stat line was crazy. Probably going to be all NBA first team defense. Zach LaVine, probably the best shooting guard in the East. Outside of probably Bradley Beal. You got the OG DeMar, and you got Vucevic, and you got baby Patrick Williams. Is that a super team? All healthy, everything considered, everything good. Is that a super team to you? Because we traded for those guys now. We traded for them.
Now, I'm going to say no. And the reason why I'm going to say no is when you look at when you look at DeMar, when you look at Zach, you can pretty much say that. But here's the thing. When Zach LaVine, you got to look at this. When Zach LaVine was traded to the Chicago Bulls, he was not a top 10 player. He was not. He was a second, third year guy coming off an ACL injury. So you have to look at that. Now, DeMar DeRozan, again, was a player who was a veteran player coming, going into a team on a team, like San Antonio, and really was not a top 10 player either. So I'm going back to what I'm saying now. When those players were traded to that particular team, they were top 10 players at the time that the trade happened.
I got you.
So we can't, we got to look at that. So when you look at Zach, you look at Zach and DeMar. When Zach came over, he wasn't a top 10 player. He improved his game as he was on this team, being that number one option. DeMar DeRozan came over here and had one of the best seasons of his career ever since he was in Toronto. So again, those guys developed and became, better players. Better players on this team. So I can't call them a super team, as of right now because, and I really can't call them that because those guys, got better as playing together. When you look at LeBron James, when you look at Dwayne Wade, when you look at Chris Bosh, those guys solidified their teams, the teams that they were on because they were playoff teams. You understand? So that's what I call them, a super team, and that's why I call those guys top 10 players.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. I think I agree with your definition, but my definition could actually be having great players in your starting five, a top player at every position. Like if you got a top point guard, you got a top shooting guard, small forward, and a center, power forward, that's a super team to me. That's just based off if you drafted them, you know what I mean, and they grow into that, and if they, your definition of guys leaving teams that were playoff teams, join up with another team, with another guy, and create a super team. So I definitely think the Bulls could be a super team as far as development, as far as position. as far as Lonzo Ball being healthy, Zach LaVine, DeMar, and Vooch and Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they actually develop and they actually go past the first round next year, I'm gonna be calling them a super team, bro. I don't care what you say. I don't care. I don't care, CJ. I don't care. I don't care.
Man, we old school, man. And I'm surprised. That you didn't say they're a dynasty, because to me that seems to be more the definition.
I'm saying,
Because
but you think about like what teams have we seen just from a developmental standpoint from every position from a team drafted? You would have to say the Warriors, right? A dynasty by your definition, right?
yeah.
Okay. So a dynasty. Okay. So the Bulls would be a dynasty more than a super team. But how can you be a
Correct.
super team and not a dynasty at the same time, though?
Because you have to look at it like this, guy. You got to look at it like this. A dynasty is it's a team that builds and build together to win championships. You're building them from the ground up. When you got a super team, you got top 10 guys or different teams coming together on one damn team. That's a super team. That is a super team.
All right.
That's a super team. A dynasty is what you build. Like, we got a podcast right now. We just started out. If we build it up and whatever comes along with it, we done build a damn dynasty. It ain't a super. It ain't a super podcast or a super team podcast. It's a dynasty. So you have to look at it like that, man. It's you can't say a team that built themselves up as a super team. That the thing is that management get these players, they draft them, the coaches build them up, the players train to do whatever to make themselves great. When you got guys already superstars on different teams saying, well, fuck it, screw it, I'm just gonna go on this team and play my best friend. That's a damn super team, man. I don't care what you say. The Boston Celtics, the Boston,
Did Huncho ever pull up?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
I feel you though, man, but I just think it could be both, man. I agree with you 100%, but I do think if I got a team and my team developed at every position with a big four, to me that's a super team, bro. I don't care what you say.
All right, man. Well, hey, brother. Hey, your opinion, my opinion. Hey, it's all good, brother. We try to make good content for y'all.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you.
It's good, man. I definitely can see what you're saying. I just have a more pull of a definition for it. But hey, man, I definitely agree with what you were saying, man. I definitely respect. I definitely agree with it. But look, you guys, we about to go ahead, about to end this podcast. We got the game coming. Game 6 is about to start. I'm about to go chill out. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. If you're watching this podcast right now on Facebook, do not forget to like the podcast. Also, if you're watching it on YouTube, go and like the video on there as well. But for myself and for G Walker, we hope you all have a good rest of your night. Be safe. Take care, and we'll catch you next time on the next and upcoming podcast show, which will probably be sometime next week. But we'll
see. We're gonna go on. There's the Bears are going into hiding. They won't be back to July. People that are watching and listening. The NBA finals are gonna be over in a couple days, so content might be a little slow. You know what I mean? So just bear with us. We do have a bunch of things in the background that's coming. A bunch of fun stuff for y'all to interact with us with. We can't tell you guys what it is right now, but guaranteed, when the regular season starts, the Bears and NFL, it's gonna be a lot of things that we got for you guys to interact with us with while we go on the live podcast.
Yep, and then one more thing, we also going to be having special guests coming back onto the podcast. We're going to have a familiar face, hopefully soon, coming back on the podcast. We're still trying to work some scheduling and stuff out with them, but you guys make sure you go and follow us at the CNG Podcast page, because we will be giving you guys an update on the special guest when we will have that person come on to the podcast. But you all have a great rest of your night, and we'll catch you next time. But until then, take care. We up out of here.
Peace.
And hold on. We got comments. Okay, never mind. That's my baby. That's my girl in the other room saying comments on here. Yeah, no, she said.
You know what time it is.
Yeah, I know. She said bye and facts, but we about to get up out of here, man.
All right.
Y'all have a good night, man.
All right, Nadia, CJ.
All right.